recently read an article entitled 21 Changes in Society That Bother Older Adults. It included such things as urbanization and rural decline, privacy erosion, transportation changes, and so on. Reading it, I was reminded how very much things have changed in my lifetime. And I admit, some of those changes bother me, but most of them left me indifferent or totally supportive. So I guess I'm not quite the old fogey I thought I'd be. As a feminist, the strides made in many arenas delight me. Doors that were previously closed to people on a variety of grounds, whether color, nationality, sex, religion, or heritage, are now open. I think we've gone too far in some areas, but now discriminate in the opposite direction. Hopefully, the pendulum will swing and level off in the near future. I do admit that I still enjoy a door being held open for me, though. Not being able to imagine life without a career, the disappearance of the traditional marriage doesn't affect me, but I do pity those whose dream was being a stay at home mother and housewife. I'm bothered that the rising cost of education and houses is eliminating the possibility of home ownership for far too many. The emphasis on saving and not going into debt has been eroded, in no small part by governments taking us ever deeper into debt and showing no inclination to balance the books, let alone pay off the debt. But they do demonstrate with great alacrity their commitment to raising taxes. Home ownership has values far beyond a roof over one's head. The sense of being a part of something permanent and being responsible for the upkeep, cutting the lawn, painting the shutters whatever color you like, and all controlled by the family, that's priceless. I know, having grown up in an apartment, owning a home was my goal in life. But the only way to get there is by reduced spending and increased earnings and greater value placed on savings. Stability, a neighborhood in which one is invested, is ideal for a family and worth the cost. Waiting for your parents to die so you get their house is not the route I'm recommending. Environmental concerns are legitimate, and I'm happy to learn more and do more. But governments need to consider the impact of their legislating on the cost of living and the destruction of the countryside. I like initiatives that involve me, what I buy, how I dispose of things, how I reuse and recycle. I want to do my bit, but honestly, I can't remember the last time I had my shoes rehealed, and I have no idea where to find a cobbler. How the cost has risen on heating my home or driving my car, or the expectation that I'm going to be able to buy an expensive electric car in the next few years, all of that is worrying. And those hideous thumping windmills sprawling over the countryside to service the city folk, it's just not fair. And so on through the 21 changes, I noted my responses. I could see the value of some, the negative impacts of others. And then I realized that there was a common denominator. What really bothered me was anything that impacted on human relationships, human interactions, human beings getting together, human beings reaching out and caring and laughing and crying together, but being together physically, looking each other in the eye when talking together, no artificial device in between, which I guess puts me among those not keeping up with the rapid revolution going on around me. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's great that people can share their lives through the internet in ways we never could before. The idea that families who cannot afford to travel across the country or cannot leave their nursing home can still attend and participate in their cousin's funeral online, or participate in the speeches after the wedding, or cheer on a grandson's graduation. But I can't get used to seeing a couple or a family out for dinner and everyone on their cell phone or tablet, and no one talking to anyone else at the table or appreciating the food. When do they get to share their days with each other? Where do they get to discuss what is going on in the world? How do they go about planning outings to a movie or to go skiing? I just can't understand why those online attractions are more valued than those people that they're sitting there with. The arenas in which we got to know each other has changed. The church is no longer central to so many people's lives and no longer claims an evening or two of our week. The groups who made quilts for the mission field are busy elsewhere. Knitting layettes for new mums of the parish no longer happens. Nor did the men's group who coached the Little League team and then raised money for equipment. Christmas bazaars have largely gone out of fashion, and church picnics a distant memory. Community centers are run by professionals, and City Hall dictates the terms. Volunteerism is lost to the demands of new values and means of communication in many, many ways. How are your communication skills keeping up with changing times? Do you still set time aside for Sunday dinner with your family? When did you last engage in a rousing debate on some contentious issue at the local pub? And if not, why not? I don't know how to get back to some of the delights of another time. When did I stop turning out for clubs to which I belong? Toronto Numismatics, the Royal Commonwealth Society, Mensa, the Ontario Bar, or the CBA newsletter, my gym, or working on political campaigns? When did I stop writing newsletters or volunteering for the executive or organizing events or knocking on doors? It just happened so gradually that I didn't notice until it was gone. And that's a pity. My goal this year is to restart doing things with people and working my best at getting debates and discussions going wherever I am so that others can learn the delights of gabbing away with other people face to face, eye to eye, challenging and daring and enjoying ourselves no end. You should try it, or maybe we'll end up doing it together. And so I pray, Holy Trinity, help us make time for each other and stop being so distracted as our lives pass by unnoticed. We need to turn off our tablets and cell phones and all the things that we use to fence us off from the real world. Let us take the time to appreciate those we know and those we love by giving them our time and attention, face to face, laughing and weeping and being together. So may it be. Amen.